What's up? That's bullshit. As you can tell from Puerto Rico's lovely climate, it's a wonderful place to be. But getting here is somewhat of a challenge. All total, I think it was about 35 hours to get here from Anchorage, Alaska, which is quite a ways to go. So I thought that this episode would be a great way to start off things by telling you a little bit more about what I do when I travel and how I get to where I go and still remain sane. So let's try it out. So one of the first things I do is I make sure that I have all the devices I'm going to carry and all the batteries and chargers and everything else that I really need to do the job. Does that sound a little like I'm obsessed with technology? Maybe. But I like to think that as a good dad, you need to have a good handle on the technology element of things, because guess what? If you got a passenger princess and a little passenger princess and a little passenger prince, you have to take care of them too. So one of the first things that I do is I get the technology down. I want to make sure that I've got everything that I need just for me. Then I've got everything that they need. And then I've got spares for both, because somebody's going to lose something. I guarantee it. So to help break up the monotony, I'm going to show you what my technology looks like when I've arrived. That way you know what you need to pack, or at least what I pack anyway. I pack. Does that sound like some kind of Apple product? Don't sue me. So this is the awesome suite that I am in Puerto Rico, just outside of San Juan. Close the door. So I walk in, I get off the plane, and I'm like, okay, where's my technology gonna go? Where can I plug it in? Initially, I'm drawn to the desk. I think the desk is gonna be the place where it's gonna go. And you would probably be about right. And so there is a plug at the bottom of this lamp. However, whenever I plugged in my charger, it started to crackle and make noises. Crackling noises and electricity are bad. You don't want these things in your life. You don't need these things in your life. So, this is not a good place. So if you follow the cords, this isn't a good spot either. It's also behind the couch. Not a good place to put your tech either. But what do? So if a desk isn't available, the next best place is the bed. Let's get to the bed. Okay, so I sleep on the right side of the bed. Everybody's got a side. So I picked a side. Luckily, we have a plug right by the lamp. So I'm in the Apple world. I have an Apple Watch. I have the AirBuds. Wait a minute, that's a movie. Is it AirBuds? iBuds? I don't know. The things that I put in my ears and listen to music to. Jesus, I sound like an old man. Anyway, so I use this. This is a 3-in-1. Things have actually gotten pretty cheap now. You can get this on Amazon for $30 or whatever. So if you're using an iPhone, you can magnetically throw your phone on here to charge. You can put your AirBuds there, and you can put your smartwatch right here. So while it does take up a little bit of space in your bag, it's pretty nice to use. So you can put 3 pieces on one. You're good to go. So whenever you get up in the morning, you can take all this out and you're in good shape. It's all been charged. It even comes with a little charging brick, which is also USB-C. So if for some reason you wanted to unplug this and plug something directly into something else like an iPad or something like that, you could totally do it. So if you had to survive with one thing, this is one thing that could do it for you. And speaking of iPads, there's certain things that just don't charge very well. Well, for example, if I have anything that's using an old lightning cable, like my AirPods for whatever reason, I need to charge them fast, I have this fast charge brick. Because of the other thing I just showed you, it's not going to charge as quick. But this is one of the more expensive power bricks, which I don't let my kids have because it was like 60 bucks, but it charges 2 devices USB-C very quickly. So I can hook up my phone to this for a USB-C connection, or my iPad Pro, and I can rock and roll. So with these 2 devices, this one right here, or this charging station over here, and that charging station over there, I'm in pretty good shape. I've got it made. And so for just random travels, this is kind of how I do the technology aspect of it. So this next bit is really interesting for me. I've done this a couple different ways, and I'm going to show you. So let me just flip around here. Okay, the closet. Let's look at the closet. All right, so it's kind of dark. Well, it's a lot dark, but it's not too bad. So what I try to do is I try to have all my stuff into specific sections. So I've got all my shirts, I've got all my pants. If you have a wonderful wife who folds way better than you do, you can get her to fold things for you. But I try to put everything away as quickly as possible, get them on a hanger to try and have some of the wrinkles fall out of them. And then as far as your dope bag or dop bag or whatever they call it, your bathroom bag, I try to bring just the essentials. Smaller stuff for certain things. So clear deodorant, the chalky stuff sucks. Antacids for pizza late at night, some cologne, some face moisturizer, and SPF, which is really important. Toothbrush and a toothbrush holder, and you notice that I can kind of put my toothbrush in there to where it doesn't get as dirty. Electric shaver, hairbrush for the hair I have very little of. Face wipes, which are, I'm kind of having essential. I feel like it's essential nowadays for me. But take better care of your skin. And then floss picks. And there you go. Tell them what's behind curtain number 3, Johnny. The shower. So instead of bringing a whole bunch of shampoo, conditioner, all that other stuff, depending on where you're going and how light you want to travel, usually you have these in some hotels nowadays. So you've got your shampoo, you've got your conditioner, you've got your bath gel. Really good stuff. I always feel like I have dry scalp. I need a little extra protection in the shampoo area. So I will bring something like tea tree shampoo. So I've got some of that here with me, small bottle, and then I've got it's a scalp massager, washer, whatever, to really kind of get in and get things cleaned up. So also very good for if you have a beard, goatee, or facial hair of some sort. This can kind of get in and get that deep clean that you're really looking for. So those are the things that I try to get done right away. Now, after that, usually what I'm doing is I'm putting away my clothes in whatever chest of drawers are available, that type of stuff. So I use packing cubes. So let's take a look at those. So I use these packing cubes. So I've got my shorts here, and some of them are rolled up, some of them aren't, because you're just trying to navigate what you're trying to do wherever you're traveling at. So I've got my underwear here rolled in. It's a zip bag, so whenever I'll take it out of my luggage, I throw it in here and it's good to go. And then for people who are obsessive about folding stuff, this probably gives you the cringe, but I've been looking through here and most of my shirts are rolled up. And pro tip, bring some dryer sheets. I like Downy or Snuggle. So these are really great. If you've got any static cling, you can wipe this on the inside of your laundry item and it does really well. Or you just want your clothes to smell good and make sure that they smell good, just throw them in there. So I do that with my bags. I'll throw a couple in there. And this is the dirty clothes, except for the socks. I've got those stashed in another bag here because I only had 4 drawers. But I also put a dryer sheet in here too to kind of help keep these things smelling a little bit better. I do have a bigger bag down there, but I'm not that point yet. I'll put those dirty clothes in that bag whenever I'm flying back. And that's where the dirty clothes bag is. And now I realize that I could have been putting my dirty clothes in here the whole time. So, is there a secret travel tip that I can give you? Is there one special thing that you should always try to carry with you, no matter where you go, that is unusual, that doesn't end up on most people's packing list? Yes, there is. The plastic bag, the Ziploc bag. Why do I have a pen in it? Well, that's just what's left in there. So the Ziploc bag is great. If you're gonna go outside in the water anywhere or whatever, or if you just want to make sure something for sure is not gonna get contaminated or smell bad or anything of the above, Ziploc bag is you're good to go. If you're also gonna be on the water, you can put your cell phone or your wallet or other documents in there and make sure that they're in good shape whenever you get there. Or that they don't drown out in the water and get ruined. About bags, what about them? That's not my bag, baby. Well, I've got two bags, really. So let's show them to you. So this is what I fly with. And this is, this looks like a lot, but it's really not a lot. So I've got a Chrome Industries messenger bag. I think it's a Cadet Max. It's got basically two areas. You've got the front storage area with this zipper here. I added on this zipper pull to make it easier to get in and open. And then this main compartment here. So what I have in my bag, generally at all times, is I've got two things. Two critical things, I guess. One is like my flight essentials bag, which I'll show you in a minute what's in that. The electronic essentials bag, which is more like auxiliary cables and whatnot. One charging brick, fast charging, and somebody's vacuuming in the hallway. So you get to enjoy that too. Two charging cables, one for lightning and one for regular USB-C. Obviously your cell phone, sunglasses, camera bag for my DJI camera, my pair of regular glasses, and my iPad Pro. So there you go. So here's my flight essentials bag. So it looks like the other one, and I thought about having two black ones, but I figured when I was on a plane and it was in the dark and I needed to get something, this would be a better bag. It's a little bit more contrasty. So in here I have got everything that I probably could need or want to need on a plane or wherever I'm at. So if you've ever been on vacation in a hotel or something like that and you've had to buy Tylenol, Tylenol is like $5, $10. Or recently where I had to get a thing of deodorant, a thing of toothpaste, and a toothbrush, it cost me $30 in Seattle. So this is well worth the money. So I've got wipes, I've got antacids, I've got floss picks, I've got Band-Aids, Imodium, antacids, all the 9 yards in here, sanitizing wipes. And toothbrush and toothpaste, a protein bar, some antihistamines, a whole bunch of earplugs, so that way you can sleep on the plane a little bit better, and some Pepto-Bismol. So normally, outside of the headphones, you really shouldn't need much out of here. Maybe the alcohol wipes, maybe. But this comes in at probably, it's not even a pound, it's ounces. Very light, ready to go. Next up is my Technology Essentials kit, which is actually pretty small. So I bought this in Puerto Rico, so I figured this would be a good place to stash it. I've got Tylenol, I've got antacids, earplugs, what my son calls the midnight gummies, the melatonin, just in case I'm really in a dire need to sleep. I like to put these things in multiple places because I don't ever want to be without them. Those are kind of big essentials. So while not necessarily technology, it's a backup to the backup, just in case. And then cords, I've got cleaning wipes for certain things, all kinds of stuff. And so normally these cords and this power brick would end up living in here. And so this is how I get it done. I take my iPad Pro, if I can grab it, stick it in the back. That goes in the second section there. This one goes on top of it. My DJI camera bag will go right here. And why do I not pack that is, well, if I'm going to record something or lithium-ion batteries, you don't want to have those in your check bag. And then my sunglasses, which may or may not be in a case, depends on which sunglasses I'm using. Zip it up. We're ready to go. The iPad Pro adds a lot of weight to it, but if you got a regular iPad, not so much. It's really light. You can fit this underneath your seat, and you're good to go. I also have some deodorant in here, which I just added to what I have. You could put some cologne in there, whatnot. Typically, I will put my travel documents, if I have any, right up here in the front. I usually have like some mag charging bricks, if you will. Here's the old passport that I mentioned. And there you go. Now, if I'm traveling somewhere where I'm like getting a rental car or something like that, I'll typically attach my keys here or something like that, just to kind of keep them in a safe spot. But overall, it's a really great bag. Black does kind of get a little dirty, but with a little soap and water and warm washcloth, I'm not getting it sloppy wet, but you know, wipe it up. It cleans up really well. I've had this for about 4 or 5 plane rides so far. I like it. This is why you buy a Chrome Industries bag for the most part, because this looks cool. Not that everything else isn't great, but it's like a seatbelt. So if it gets tangled up, you undo it, you detangle it, and you pop it back and you're locked in position. It does jangle around a little bit, so that's kind of a con. But outside of that, it's a great piece of kit. So what about shoes? Typically, I will only bring 1 pair of shoes unless I'm going to someplace warm and tropical, and in that case, I will have these. Good old flip-flops. And some of these lounger shoes or whatever, beach shoes from Ariat. Really great stuff. These are Olokai flip-flops, which are pretty good. Cat marks, where you've seen somebody bite them, kind of just comes with the product. No, I'm just kidding. That actually doesn't work that way. My cats did that. So, yeah. Oh. Hey, you're still here. What else was I going to show you? Hold on, I'm checking my messages. Just kidding. Your phone. Your phone is one of your most important things when you travel. This is your lifeblood to boarding the plane, to getting your Uber or Lyft ride, to double checking where you're going to go, your email, everything else. You may be thinking, well, duh, of course it's my lifeblood. But do you take precautions? So no, I'm not really talking on the phone, but this looks good for the video. But seriously, if you're wanting to make sure that you're prepared, you have that phone in good working condition, a couple things. Make sure that if you're leaving the country or to someplace that is a little bit out of the way, make sure that your cell phone carrier has coverage. That's important. And if they don't, you do not want to use your phone there. You want to use a Wi-Fi signal or whatever and use Facebook Messenger, whatever your WhatsApp or whatever other thing that uses IP-based phone calls and whatnot, because you will get raped over the coals by phone charges and roaming, especially data. Data, oh yeah, data will do it to you. So if you know you're going somewhere where that sort of thing is going to happen, make sure that you turn your cellular data off. Or put yourself in Wi-Fi or airplane mode. That's one of the things I picked up from a cruise recently. Now, as you could probably tell from looking at my cell phone, I didn't have a case on it. Why do I not have a case? I don't know. I figured at this point in time, 2024, brand new iPhone, Pro Max, whatever it is, it should be good enough to not have a case. But that's pretty stupid. You should have a case for your phone. You should protect it. You should have spare chargers, batteries, things. You should be prepared in case something wrong happens that you're good to go. Take care of your phone because it's going to take care of you. You really don't know how much you need it for what you're doing. Also, when it comes to checking in on your plane, do this right thing. Use the app for your airline. Use that. Don't use paper tickets. Keep your paper tickets, but don't use them. Use your phone. And why do you want to use your phone? Well, let me tell you about how I fly. Always check in 24 hours before your flight, as soon as possible, right away. Make sure that you've got the seat that you want. Now, I know some airlines don't let you choose your seat. Maybe they get assigned at the gate or whatnot, but if you can get an assigned seat, make sure that you've got it. Get checked in, go ahead and have all that done as soon as possible. And if for whatever reason when you booked your flight, you didn't have the seat that you wanted, now is a great time to double check and see if there's another seat available, one that you want. And if there is, go ahead and get the seat that you want. And maybe you've changed your mind and maybe you want something a little bit better in the way of a seat. So now's also a really good time to do it. Fun fact, pro tip, all that stuff. You can do this even right up until you're boarding. And so sometimes people don't show up or maybe they've canceled or whatever. Maybe that seat's available. So it's always a good time and your apps are the best. Does that sound bad? Yeah, it does. I don't care. By the way, never trust your alarm clock where you're going. Never trust the alarm clock that's sitting next to your bed. Never trust the alarm clock that's in your phone. Always visually make sure that your phone is set to the right time zone and your alarm is actually going to go off. I'm super paranoid about that. There's been a couple times where my phone didn't go off, or for some dumb reason I did trust the alarm clock that was here and something just didn't work out. And luckily I never missed anything, but I was in a pretty big rush and it didn't necessarily work out so well for me. So always be on time, be a little early, and yeah, you'll be in good shape. Especially if you've got to get up early in the morning and you don't want to miss a flight. If you miss a flight in some foreign country and it's some way weird part of the world, it could be the difference between getting home today and getting home several days from now. So don't screw up. I'll tell you about investing in a good bag, but not today. Currently, I'm using a Traveler's Choice bag. I just got this, I think about 2 weeks ago, in anticipation of flying down here. And so far, it's worked out pretty good, but I can't really give a good, honest review just yet because I haven't made a complete round trip yet. But so far, here's what I will tell you about having a bag, some luggage, is don't go cheap. Well, I take it back. If you don't fly very often, cheap bag is okay. Now, when I say not very often, like you fly once or twice a year, maybe, maybe one, or maybe you don't fly at all hardly. Sure, get the crappiest bag that you can get. That just might be the way to go for you. My advice is get something a little bit better. Luggage has changed quite a bit. You can get something lightweight that is really good for a relatively affordable price. This bag I got is essentially the better bag that is out there from what I can tell. I did get it on sale, so it was about 150, 60 bucks or whatever. I think they normally go for like 250. But so far, just everything about it is all these little nuanced touches that just really, really work incredibly well for a bag. So, like I said, I'm not going to recommend it just yet, but it's doing pretty good. So I feel like coming from my podcast to a video format is a little odd. So what you've seen so far is like my attempt of trying to make a good informative video that somebody will probably use and like. So I stuffed all that into the beginning of the video. But at the end, and I'm trying to wrap this up, I feel like the personal part of my podcast or whatever this channel is, You're Not My Father, even these videos deserve a little, it's part of me. Just kind of open up and tell you about stuff. So we'll do that here. So pull up a chair with your old man. Sit over here, sit over there, and yeah, I'm making fun of my new camera, but anyway. So I said I was in Puerto Rico, which is true. Everything I've said is true. I'm not lying. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the Alaska Airlines issue where the door plug popped off of the plane. That happened, I think it was about 2 weeks ago now, more or less. And about the time that I heard that, I was like, oh, great. Not oh, great, as in great. I was like, sarcastically, oh, great. You know, I'm going to have to rearrange my flights and stuff like that. And I was like, well, it's a few weeks away. Hopefully they'll get everything sorted out and I won't have to worry about it. So, I mean, that's just kind of what I figured. And then it got a little bit closer. I'm reading the news articles and they're like, yeah, we're not going to do anything. We're going to ground it, keep everything grounded until it's fixed, which is the right thing to do. But I'd already made all my flight reservations and everything. I had good seats. I had really great prices for what I was doing, and I didn't want to make many changes. So I've been a long-time flyer of Alaska Airlines, and I hit MVP last year, and they do treat you better if you're an MVP. So the status is definitely worth striving for, achieving. And that's something that I'll stop for a moment and give you some advice. It's worth staying with one airline for a while. Maybe it's not the lowest price every time for every flight, but that loyalty, they do reward you on that with mileage and free flights and upgrades and whatnot. So it's been interesting being at that status level of Alaska Airlines. But I'll tell you, I've flown other airlines, and Alaska is definitely one of the better ones. I've always felt safe. I've always felt like they've done a really great job. And so with that door plug popping out, you know, nobody died. Nobody got seriously injured. The pilots got them there safe. You know, the videos I saw, people they didn't look horrified. They weren't really essentially freaking out. Maybe they were on the inside, but they got them there alive. And any kind of air accident, usually that usually doesn't happen. People usually get hurt or something. Yeah. So, I mean, that was really impressive for me. So I didn't have any fears of, you know, that they wouldn't correct the problem. So anyway, long story short, I did have to reschedule some of my flight. And then they canceled it, and then I rescheduled again, and then it just wasn't working out. So finally I called them back, and I was like, is there something else we can do? So I got a non-MAX 9 plane that flew in the night before when I was supposed to leave Seattle to fly out. So I did that, spent the night in Seattle. And true story, I've flown into Seattle, through Seattle, literally probably at least 100 times or more. And I've never actually left the airport. And as a kid, I always wanted to go to Seattle. And, you know, my high school years, I was getting out of high school, getting to college right when grunge was happening. So the Seattle scene was happening. At that time, my sister lived in Seattle, and my dad had lived in Seattle right before that, but I'd never been. And I really wanted to go really bad. And living in Alaska, I'm so close to it, and I fly in Seattle all the time. So you would think that I'd gone to Seattle and done all kinds of things. Wrong. Nope. And in this case, I got out of the airport and waited 30 minutes for a shuttle and went to an airport that was right by the airport and stayed there for 6 hours, slept, got up at 4 o'clock, got out, got back in SeaTac, and got on my plane and came on. So I didn't really experience Seattle. I'm going to count it as a one. I have visited Seattle, but I feel like if you haven't left the airport, you're a 0.5. And multiple trips to the airport really don't count. You're still at that 0.5 status. At least that's my thought about it. But yeah, so I flew out. I had a really long day. I got to Puerto Rico about 12:30 in the morning. So all total, it was like a day and a half of travel, which is a long time. It's a long time. So jet lag. I get jet lag all the time. The best way I can describe to get rid of jet lag is to just stay up. Don't fall asleep or whatever. Now, I didn't stay up at 12:30 all night. No, I'm not saying that. But like if the time is wonky and like you think, hey, I'm going to get a few hours of sleep and that'll be good, that's not really a good idea, at least not in my mind. Just go ahead and stay up and try to get into a routine sleep schedule as quickly as possible. And so I say that, but for the last 2 nights, I've been up way past midnight. Actually, for the past 3 nights, I've been up way past midnight. Even when I tried to get in early last night. And so it's a business conference, and you know, sometimes that's just the way it happens. You know, at this conference and this organization that I'm a part of, the business networking is invaluable. It truly is, and it's really what makes these trips worthwhile. And honestly, the people here are really fun to hang out with. You've got people from all walks of life. I know a professional blues musician. I know authors. I know all kinds of people from different walks of life. It's really, really interesting. And I can't recommend this organization enough. And I enjoy it. I think this is, I can't tell you how many of these events I've been to, but it's helped my business. It's helped me personally grow. And this isn't a commercial, but it's just, I find it interesting that, you know, the opportunities that come about in business or from a work relationship can really change your life. It can enrich you. And if this sounds like an infomercial, give me the big thumbs down right now. But if this sounds like really good, honest advice, which I hope it is, the honesty part is 100% true. But if you find it valuable, I want you to give me a thumbs up. I want you to like this content. I want you to subscribe to it. You know, I'm hoping that this journey into video from podcasting, which has always kind of been my dream, is to do more videos, actually pans out. I'm going to make the camera pan because I'm a dad and I have dad jokes for you all night long. I'm just kidding. Not all night long. Most of the day. Something like that. Anyway. Where was I? Yeah, the whole business thing, it's great. I'm looking forward to getting back home, though. I traveled a whole lot last year, and I'm looking forward to staying at home and being with my kids and family and spending more time focusing on myself and my relationships with them. And honestly, I've been watching this YouTube channel from a guy in Alaska called Outdoor Boys. And I wasn't really expecting much from an Alaskan YouTube channel, but I've got to tell you, I've been watching the crap out of this channel, and I'm not the only one. So one of the guys I know outside of the office and outside of my personal life, church life, he's watching it. And I thought that was really kind of weird and bizarre, but he did. And believe it or not, he was watching another YouTube channel that I watch, which is called Itchy Boots. It's this lady from, I think she's from the Netherlands, and she drives around on motorcycles and documents all this stuff, which is really cool. And then I know somebody that through the professional association, and me and him have a lot in common. He also watches Outdoor Boys, and I'm just like, this is crazy. But my son Conan and I have watched hours of this content since we kind of discovered it. At first I kind of had to make him watch it, but once he started getting into it, and you know, the Outdoor Boys channel, if you don't know anything about it, which I'm assuming you don't, he's an Alaskan guy, and it's a very family friendly channel, and he goes out and he goes camping and he does things in Alaska. He lives in Alaska, but he also does stuff in the lower 48, and it's all outdoor related things. And it's really, really cool. He brings his family out and he does things in really ice cold temperatures, like -20 and below. And it's really awesome. We've learned a lot. I was in Boy Scouts. I used to do a lot of camping, and I haven't since the kids have come along and we've lived in Alaska. I just don't really know how to do camping well in winter time and cold weather and whatnot. But I've learned a lot from his channel. And Conan has expressed a lot of interest in going camping now, which he used to not. We've gone camping a couple times, and he's like kind of ambivalent towards it. But he's really liked it. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that this year, as soon as all the ice and snow goes away, because right now it's like -6 or -10, which is a far cry from where we're at right now, like 79 degrees in Puerto Rico. And if you're wondering if when I said far cry you thought of a video game, don't worry, I did too, because I'm also a gamer. But I need to wrap this up because I have to go to a reception in like 10 minutes. And yeah, so that's what life is like on the road here for me. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope maybe some of this inspires you to take some of this knowledge and go do something positive in your life. Because be positive. So I don't know who you are, where you're at, but I'm thinking about you. I love you. I think you're great. If you're watching my channel, you're the reason why I make these videos. You're the reason why I make these podcasts. The whole point of You're Not My Father is to really kind of be that surrogate father, that positive role model in your life, whether it's somebody that you just need to hear something positive from periodically, or you need to learn some very practical, straight to the point life wisdom, like how to shave. Lord help me whenever I try to do a video about shaving. But if you click on my channel and subscribe or whatever, you'll find almost all of my old podcasts on here. So if this video is intriguing to you, like, comment, subscribe. Look for the next video, which should be coming out fairly soon. But you can always listen to some of the podcasts in your YouTube window. So from Puerto Rico, this is maybe one of your favorite Alaskans, Thomas Greenman, signing off. We'll see you next time.